Germany's teenagers once again prove that the spirit of protest and class struggle isn't quite dead yet by making personal grooming advice for Friedrich Merz go viral. But should we get rid of Section 188 of the German Criminal Code? And how come we even know the numbers of sections of the German Criminal Code? Plus, Konrad reports back from the Creative Bureaucracy Festival, Germany's lack of soul-searching at the UN, and how hope died on a Danish beach. Merz Leck Eier.
Imbalance heart when news is unveiled. Megan and Konrad with German tales. The German news, it's tough to bear, but with mega cans, they're ready to head Konrad, daily news at hand. Megan feels to spare time to crack those cans. With each sip she takes, the mag is her shield. But will it last the news? 'Cause that was the deal.
Hello everyone, we're back. It's time for another episode of Megan's Megacan. Sorry, I've been distracted by Konrad just apropos of nothing, flinging his phone across the room. How are you, Konrad?
Yeah, well, I normally put it in the corner to charge while we record. And then I realised it was next to me on the sofa, and I threw it away quickly so it wouldn't disturb us. But now it has disturbed us just by me throwing it in the corner.
Oh, the irony. How are you? Anyway, we've had a break because you've been on a nice trip.
Yes, I've been on the Tinto de Buranos.
That's good. I've been on the Retsina.
Have you?
Yeah, I was at my brother's wedding in Crete.
Oh, lovely. Was that nice?
It was lovely.
Oh.
But I needed a week to get over it, which I didn't have.
Okay.
But it was good.
Did you shed a tear?
Yeah, I always shed tears at these things.
Yeah, people get emotional at weddings, don't they?
Yeah. My brother made a very nice speech, and that made me cry a lot. So that was good. Booze?
Yeah. I thought you'd never ask.
Oh, God. A Jack Daniel's Lynchburg lemonade,
Hooray.
which maybe we've had recently. I don't know.
No, I can't remember. Well,
they're the only ones that are 330 mils. I thought about going for one of the experimental new ones or something for the comedy value. We're not living in those times anymore.
No.
I need my mega can to be drinkable and comforting.
Yeah, we need
It's
to
not the
reach
90s anymore.
Yeah, we need to reach for old comforts.
We do.
We don't have the wherewithal for experimentation at the moment.
We don't.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's delicious. All right. What's been happening?
Yeah, it's hard to get back into the rhythm of this, isn't it? Because we've been away for so long.
I know, it's been nice.
And
We could just talk about our travels.
Got to talk about the news.
Well,
a lot of hilarious things have happened.
some hilarious and not so hilarious. So the big German news, of course, this week or last week has been that despite a lot of smoozling around by Merz and Vadapul, Germany got absolutely humiliated in their attempt to get a seat. What is it? A non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council.
Yeah, which they normally get. It's not the first time. There's this sort of rotating other seats for countries that didn't win the war. That they do on the UN Security Council. Some would say that the power imbalance is a bit unfair to the other countries, but who are we to judge? And Germany normally wins this vote quite easily. It happens every few years. I don't know all the details, but every few years they vote for new members, and this time it was Europe's turn, and I believe Austria and another country, Portugal, got in instead of Germany. And normally Germany it wins quite easily when it's Europe's turn, but not this time.
Not this time.
There was, according to the Guardian, it said there was much soul searching in Germany about why
I think
why
that's
they didn't.
a normal thing to assume from someone outside of Germany.
But I don't think there was any soul searching.
Didn't Vadapul literally say, I have nothing to reproach myself for?
Yeah, he did. He said, I have nothing to blame myself for.
God, he's such a little shit. He's just a little shit. He's like, Merz, mate, you're just a little shit.
And I guess the ironic thing also was that Annalena Baerbock had to announce the results of this vote because she was she is currently the president of the United Nations General Assembly. And so she was the one who read out the numbers. which many people enjoyed.
Yes, and I mean, we're finding it enjoyable because it seems like to a lot of people, if you're not within the German political establishment, like this is fair dues. If you are going to be supportive of genocide and say insane stuff about, in the case of Annalena Baerbock, oh, well, you know, maybe civilian targets are justified. Fuck you. You don't get to be on a Security Council.
Well, if you ask Merz, it's because Germany supports Ukraine. Did you hear that?
What?
So according to Merz, the reason why they lost the seat was because Russia started a campaign against Germany because of their support for Ukraine.
Yeah, I think I also heard somewhere that they were like, oh, well, it's because of Merz's comments on Iran. I'm like, no, because everyone else is being normal about Iran. It's because you're insane when it comes to Gaza. But again, Germany's like, oh, but we're the experts in anti-Semitism, so everyone must listen to us.
And also, Germany has cut a lot of its international development aid in the last few years, under Merz especially. And probably that didn't go down very well in the United Nations either, I would imagine. Anyway.
Yeah, well.
So there was very little soul searching.
Next to no, so I think there was in kind of like, oh, the phrase was like, Germany needs to reevaluate how it is viewed on the world stage.
Yeah.
But then that was the end of the sentence because we are still petrified of saying anything normal.
Yeah, we can at least say that Germany has become very isolated in the international community in the last few years, and I would say especially in the last 2 years.
I don't even think people outside of Germany know how bad it is inside Germany, and that we're putting people on trial for terrorism because they did graffiti, literally beating up protesters who are protesting peacefully and like brutalizing them in the most horrible fashion. Like, I don't think a lot of people are fully aware of that outside.
I suppose not.
There's a whole world of why we shouldn't have got the UN Security Council that people aren't even aware of.
People didn't.
It's so much more crazy than we thought.
People didn't even know that why they decided not to vote for us. Right. Well, okay. That's that.
The next news is, in what's becoming a classic Meghan's Megacan trope, we have to retract the last bit of good news that we gave you.
Oh yeah. What was the good news to those that can't remember?
It was pretty dark. But it was all we could scrape the barrel for, which was that even because Timmy the whale had been released after this ridiculous hubristic rescue campaign run by loons, it's now been discovered after the autopsy or on closer inspection that Timmy the whale is female.
Yeah.
So,
well, no one noticed this before.
There weren't any experts close up because everyone who was close up was apparently just fucking being like, yeah, I'm a whale expert, but like taking selfies with the beached whale to put on their socials. Yeah. Okay. It's disgusting. Anyway, so our good news was at least the circle of life, the best they've done, because everyone was like, the whale is probably going to die. He's there. Timmy, I'm going to go non-binary pronouns. Timmy is not going to be able to survive this. But when a big whale like that falls to the floor of the ocean, it is a huge boon for all the kind of ecosystem in that area.
Because all the other little animals get a feast.
But almost as soon as we said that and we recorded, it was reported that unfortunately Timmy's body had washed up on a... It's not funny. People are very upset about this, Konrad.
Okay.
But yeah, on a Danish beach. And so will now have to be kind of like disposed of. I haven't even followed the late.
And then what happened then? So the Danish authorities took charge of this whale.
I think they did an autopsy.
Yeah. Isn't there some law that if a whale is washed up on a beach, it belongs to the king? Maybe that's just in Britain.
Yeah, don't all the swans belong to Queen Elizabeth?
Yeah,
or King Charles.
But there was some old law that if a whale washed up, they
probably because their body. I mean, back in the day, they were.
Yeah,
they still are very valuable, aren't they, for all the resources?
Yeah, the oil you can use, you can turn them into oil. But anyway, but I do have some good news related to the Baltic Sea. Now that I just thought of it just now.
Oh, go for it.
So, tuna fish have returned to the Baltic Sea thanks to international agreements about fishing and stuff, fishing restrictions. There's been a boom in tuna fish populations, and they've returned to the Baltic Sea, and they started to jump out of the water. I bet you didn't know that tuna fish actually jump out of the water.
I did not. This is delightful.
Do you want to see a picture?
100%.
That's a tuna fish jumping out of the water.
Oh, they are massive, aren't they?
They're massive, and they sometimes jump out of the water. And now you can even go on tuna fish safaris, I believe, in the Baltic.
I would quite like that because they're not so big. So I have this like phobia thing of things being half in and out of water and stuff like that, or shipwrecks, things like that. No, but that tuna fish is the right size. Like I could deal with a dolphin. That's cool.
Yeah.
And a tuna fish, anything bigger, I get very nervous.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Which is why I think we should let them just be in the water.
And and when they're really happy, they jump, and they've been seen jumping out of the Baltic.
Class. That's very fun.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's hope we don't make it a weird culture war thing, but I'm not holding my breath. So yeah, that is unfortunately for now the end of the Timmy, alternatively also known as Hope, the Buckelval. That's
someone called it Hope.
Yeah, I was on Wikipedia. Oh. Sorry, the Wikipedia page
that didn't go down.
I'm sorry, it was.
It's the hope that kills you.
Hang on, I have to.
That's kind of bleak to call it Hope, and it just died.
Well, I think, I was saying that my partner's niece had to write a poem in thing.
Yeah.
So it's like other name: Hope, species humpback whale, died May 2026. Cause of death: drowning.
Okay.
Known for entering the Baltic Sea and becoming repeatedly stranded. I'm sorry, Timmy. You deserved so much better from us, and we dragged you around and poked you with sticks and just took selfies with you, and were gross, and we should have just let you have the dignity of a natural death, but we didn't, and I'm sorry.
Okay, well, moving swiftly along.
Oh God, okay, I'm already a bit drunk.
Do you know what I did today? I'd like to report back.
Yes.
I spent the day at the Creative Bureaucracy Festival.
That's the most Berlin thing, those two words together, I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's great. Actually, I was really pleasantly surprised. It was in the Festsaal Kreuzberg.
Okay.
Several different stages, lots going on, panel discussions, workshops. There was music. There was a workshop that was entitled Make Bureaucracy Empathetic. There were little pins being given out.
I was going to say, what's the free merch?
There was a little pin called with the words Creative Bureaucrat on it, which I've got. What other merch? There's all that pens and tote bags. So Creative Bureaucracy is basically a public sector innovation thing, but the point they were making was that bureaucracy is really, really important, because the main thing that sustains trust in our democracy and in our system is if things actually work. And they were saying
this is really interesting.
This is why bureaucracy is very important, because people need to feel like the state is working for them. I mean, it was a good atmosphere. I thought there was a lot of creative energy in the room, and people were earnestly trying to make things better. Yes, in different ways.
I think that idea that the importance of bureaucracy as such a fundamental, like a functioning bureaucracy as part of, it's such a German thing. I'm only really, after many, many, many years here, starting to understand the importance of process to the German psyche, and that things like this, and it sounds like to them very like obvious and selbstverständlich, but it's not actually. There's lots of other states that exist with a very strong sense of kind of state, and people can be frustrated about it, that don't really work and have never worked, and they're all like messed up. But it's fundamental, I think. And also on the other side of that, it's so deeply problematic, because bureaucracy is how you can be very much manipulated, and was kind of obviously during the Holocaust, to be like, well, I just signed this form that said this, and I was just following this order, and this dehumanization that can come from that. But I'm very excited that people are going, Let's make it empathetic.
That was the kind of, in fact, the guy who founded the festival is British, but he was born in Germany, and he was like a refugee in the war. He's quite an old man, and he in his inspirational speech at the beginning, he told the story of when he was like a 5-year-old, and he was evacuated and from Germany, and that's the very reason why what the point of the festival is a bit. Came out of that. So he did mention that. Yeah, and I think the most interesting person I spoke to, I did various interviews with different people, but the most interesting person was this a Dutchman called Harry Koiter, and he started this method in Holland. It was called the breakthrough method, and the idea of it is it helps the most vulnerable people to break through the bureaucratic process. Mm-hmm. And you know what his big insight was? He decided this 15 years ago. Go and ask them. Go and ask vulnerable people what they need from the state. And you end up saving a lot of money if you ask them.
Yes.
He says they have helped about 10,000 people, which in the Netherlands is quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
And he reckons that per person, he's saved the state 20,000 euros per year just by asking them what they need. And then going to the various administrations and explaining that to them, and then they would like alter the rules or alter the methods and how they were doing things.
Yeah,
and it's been a big success. And apparently, a third of the local authorities in the Netherlands have now used the breakthrough method. This thing, and he's looking to. Try it in different countries, but he says in different countries it'll be difficult in doing it in different countries because they're just really used to the Dutch system. But the idea of it would easily be transferable to other countries. And
that sounds really good.
Yeah.
I am, however, because of what I mentioned before, like in Germany, the process has to come before. Like I remember my partner explaining this to me when I would get so frustrated with my Hausverwaltung, like the people in charge of maintaining my rented flat at the time, because my heating was like constantly broken, like it was awful.
Yeah.
And I would call them up and just like cry, and I couldn't understand why nobody and he was just like, well, it's not that they don't feel a bit sorry for you, but there's no impetus to act. And I was like, you need to write them an email, and you need to put in like the paragraphs of laws, and wow, did that get a response. Yeah. Which is overgeneralizing, and I'm not trying to say like German people are this cruel and thing. And working as a teacher, the paperwork and the bureaucracy and the fact that comes first, and that is the thing that is to be maintained, because otherwise that is a moral failing.
Yeah.
It's not that you're failing people, it's that you're failing the bureaucracy, because the idea is that the bureaucracy is the decency, it is the moral standard, which is I think insane. But so like people running the education system, it's so important that all the pages of these documents are numbered by teachers. Up to like 600 pages I had to do every page, whereas there's a lot of other problems with the system that I think make it deeply unfair and unreliable. But if everything is numbered, it's very weird.
Yeah, well, this Harry Koiter, his argument is that we pour so much money into managing the symptoms of like social decline or social problems, whatever we want to talk about, and nothing into just stopping it happening in the first place.
Yeah.
So apparently, putting someone up in a homeless shelter costs the state like 300,000 a year or something, euros a year, which you might as well just put them in a hotel. You might it would be cheaper to put them in a 4-star hotel for that. You could, but we put so much money because we pay psychiatrists, we pay this other stuff, and really all they need is like a place to live.
Yes, but is that not just policy? Like, when is it policy and when is it bureaucracy? And this is my how do we pry the German hands off of all of these paragraphs from laws that they just love to quote?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Like, how do you convince someone that even though the law says this and has always said that actually listening to these vulnerable people in a homeless shelter is actually like, I don't like, that's such a huge shift to me.
Yeah, there's
and I'm all for it. Good luck to you, Harry.
I mean, I thought that was kind of an interesting insight about the, if
just ask people.
And
I think there's other, because it's just so opaque, like the bureaucracy in Germany in comparison. I mean, obviously I don't know the Dutch system, but like the UK is a lot, for all its faults, like a lot easier to understand. It's more sort of centralized, even if you look at something like healthcare.
Yeah.
And you get these like simple language letters, whereas here you get stuff where I'm just like, I don't understand what this is.
And also a lot of it comes down to the morality of the bureaucrat. So there's a lot of moral judgment in bureaucracies.
And my point is that at the heart of the German, it is the upholding of the order and the bureaucracy that is the moral act, which sounds really damning, but in a lot of cases it does work. Like, it's important to have, we all criticize Trump for like undermining our institutions and everything, that like a lot of it is important, but the problem is that I think is the key thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting dangerously close to saying, something about just following orders. Like, I mean, we are kind of, because the idea is that they feel, you feel like they're doing good if you follow the rules, like, because the rules are for their own sake.
Things that I have been asked to do administratively as a teacher, which are completely pedagogically pointless. In every education system in the world, that's going to be it. But in Germany, it is this document, like, it is hard to explain, and no one is complaining about it.
It's a good point.
It's not like a union issue. It's not whatever. They have like other things. It's to the point where I'm like, I think I've misunderstood what you're asking me to do. I could do a whole thing about this, and it is all to do with showing that you have followed the correct procedures and documented everything correctly, rather than did this student get a fair...
there's also just this idea that, well, the thing that Harry Kreuter was saying, there's a lot of the time they by listening to the people and asking them what they want and then going to the administration, they find that they don't actually have to change any rules. They don't have to make anything more efficient or do any budget cuts. They don't have to like bring in like digitalize everything or make everything AI. It's just like if there is like an empathetic approach between the two, then there's a way of doing bureaucracy that works, and it doesn't mean everything has to be digitally available all the time. There's like this like, digitalization on its own doesn't mean everything's better. And
no, because that's even one more step to like dehumanize people, because you're not even seeing them. You're not with them face to face.
I mean, I know someone who's on the, what's it called? Bürgergeld, not Bürgergeld. It used to be called Bürgergeld.
Oh, they changed it again now?
It's called Grundsicherung now.
Ah, yes.
Unemployment benefit. And now you have to start your own account and log in, and you have to do everything through this account.
And the Datenschutz will be insane.
Yeah.
I'm about to have to get a new telephone.
Yeah.
For a more updated one, so that I can access my own health information.
Yeah.
Through an app.
So
anyway, I don't.
The point is that what I'm trying to get at is that a bad system is also bad if it's digital. Like you've got to make the system good and then make it digital, and not just say, we're going to make it digital and then it'll be good. It's got to be, the system has got to be good in the first place.
Yeah.
Anyway,
AI is not going to solve anyone's problems.
Yeah.
Anyway,
right.
that was a lot of me ranting about the German psyche when really I don't really have any idea, but it sort of does make sense. But then that also could be confirmation bias. I don't know.
Where were we? Well, that's all I really wanted to say about the Creative Bureaucracy Festival.
It does sound really fun.
It was
I wish
fun.
I'd been there today. That
It's
sounds
going
like
on
a more
tonight.
fun.
I mean, it's in Festsaal Kreuzberg. It's in like they have concerts and everything. It's a big thing.
Oh.
I mean, you'll see a lot of bureaucrats letting their hair down if you head down to Festsaal
So the
Kreuzberg
bureaucrats
tonight.
are there. Like, it's hard for me. Like,
Yeah, they're all like people, experts from different fields. I mean, I talked to the
just going to
Bürgermeister.
have like a big rave where they're going to hand out like, come on, let's all just take some mushrooms, everybody. Maybe a little ecstasy. Come on. Oh, we're all one. Yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't actually matter if someone's not filled out the right form. You can just go through the right form with them on the day. It's fine. It's fine.
That was the ideal, is that if you get a load of bureaucrats eat up and loving each other
I love it.
from just like break open the pinata with all the little ping pong balls in it, and
That's a very niche reference.
yeah. Good.
What are we going to talk about now? Do we need to move on to the final one? It feels like we've been recording for a long time, but I also don't know. I've got about a third, I think, of a mega left.
Okay, good. Well, we've got a big one to go through. We've got a big one.
Yeah.
We've got paragraph 188 of the German Strafgesetzbuch, talking about
You're just fucking proving my point. We always have to quote a little paragraph, don't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, can I just... It's hard for people who haven't lived in Germany for a million years or who are not German to understand, with the exception of maybe the amendments in the US Constitution, the amount of paragraphs that people here are able to kind of quote from the basic law and from the penal code is nuts. It's just this shorthand that like Germans use, which just shows this bureaucratic obsession with paragraphs. Like, this doesn't happen in other countries.
No?
It's not. No,
You
you've
don't know
been here
any-
too long.
You don't know any paragraphs in the UK criminal code?
What was it? The Thatcher one, Section 28? Was that the?
Oh yeah, section. Yeah.
But no, and I know like the 8th Amendment and things like that, the abortion one. But in terms of,
yeah.
you don't use them in an email. Like, you don't, like, never.
Well, okay.
I don't
I suppose
think.
so.
No.
I'll take your word for it. I'm too German to
You are.
tell. I'll take your word for it. Well, anyway.
Sorry, paragraph 118.
Yeah, Germany has a special law which prohibits insulting politicians, basically. And it's quite unusual in Europe to have such a law. There are, I think it's called lèse-majesté. Have you heard of this? Some other countries have this lèse-majesté, which is insulting the crown or insulting the king, which you're not allowed to do. Turkey, you're not allowed to insult the president.
I'm allowed to do quite a lot in Turkey, I think, these days.
I believe Thailand. But in Europe, there are a few countries that also have laws like that. I think Denmark, maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I think Denmark. But
Germany does.
But
somewhat unusually.
But Germany has a very specific one, which is about, I'll read it out, in fact. If an offence of defamation is committed publicly in a meeting or through dissemination of written materials against a person involved in the popular political life based on the position of that person in public life, and if the offence may make his public activities substantially more difficult, the penalty shall be imprisonment from 3 months to 5 years. An intentional defamation under the same conditions shall entail imprisonment from 6 months to 5 years.
So this is a specific clause for politicians.
Yeah, and that is quite unusual.
Yes.
And the thing is, in 2021, this law was beefed up, strengthened. What's the term? So that it's not just defamation in civil law where you have to press charges. So if you were insulted, you'd have to press charges in a civil court case.
Yeah.
In this case, the police or the state prosecutor can see an insult and just start an investigation on their own. They don't need the politician in question to actually press charges. They don't need to go to that politician and say, "Would you like to press charges?" That's a big difference. And in the last few months, we have seen, or last couple of years anyway, we've seen quite a few cases where basically someone's called, Robert Habeck a knobhead on Facebook, and the police have seen it, and the police then feel compelled to start an investigation into it. So
I'd imagine this is one of these laws that was maybe done in
there was
maybe good faith, but also no one really.
Originally, the idea of strengthening the law in that way was partly because there was a feeling that politicians were getting insulted far too much, and it was in many cases it was leading to physical violence. Okay. And there was a famous case of Walter Lübcke who was actually murdered. So there was a feeling that especially local politicians are getting abused and attacked too much, and we have to do something about it. But what has now happened is that the police basically don't know how to interpret this law. Yeah. And so they're kind of investigating all kinds of stuff. So Friedrich Merz was called a Lügenfritz by someone on a
lying Fritz?
A lying Fritz. Fritz is short for Friedrich, so...
Yeah.
And but they posted it in a comment under a post by the police in Baden-Württemberg. So the police kind of saw it because I think the police basically saw it because of that.
But it's just a comment.
It's just a comment under a post, yeah.
Well, I'm cooked if they ever start listening to this. So, fucking hell.
So, and that person ended up being fined €2,000 for saying Lügenfritz. And this has caused quite a lot of consternation, it's fair to say, in recent weeks and months. And the justice ministers, the 17 justice ministers of Germany, got together in the Justice Ministers' Conference, which happened yesterday and today, and they decided to, or at least they discussed the possibility of getting rid of this paragraph altogether, because it's basically causing more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah.
And now that process has started, so they'll probably eventually get rid of it, I imagine, because it seems especially the CDU is in favour of abolishing this law. So is the Green Party, but not the party that has been putting the brakes on a little bit is the SPD, who still feel like especially local politicians are being abused too much. And it's not
imagine they are the SPD because they're having a terrible time right now.
Yeah. So that's happening at the moment.
Okay.
Weirdly, like Lügenfritz was prosecuted and the guy ended up having to pay €2,000, but someone else called Merz Pinocchio, and the state prosecutors dropped the case, which I think is...
I think this is also the problem, that it becomes this ridiculous, and there was this kind of famous case a while back where, I can't even remember which politician it was, but you're like, oh no, you can actually call him a Nazi. It just ends up being this like ridiculous thing where some offhand comment that someone maybe makes is given this huge platform of, well, is Friedrich Merz actually a Lügenfritz?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
then
that's
you have
not
to go
really
to court.
a matter for a court to decide. That's personal. Like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
I don't think it's helping. I mean, politicians, I do think, are under like a huge amount of scrutiny and abuse and like horribleness that maybe in the past when we didn't have social media and stuff, they didn't have to. And I don't want to kind of like belittle that, but
the Trump administration weighed into this.
Oh, that's
You'll be
good.
surprised to hear the Undersecretary of State, Sarah Rogers, accused Germany of censorship because of specifically she was referring to the Lügenfritz case. So it's caused an international thing, and it looks like they'll probably get rid of it now because it's causing too much trouble than it's worth. And but the best case, of course, was Merz Leck Eier, which was held up on a placard by an 18-year-old kid in Berlin during a protest for the kids against the military service law.
Yeah.
And that has now become a slogan amongst young people. I believe you know more about young people than me.
Yeah, so this is definitely Merz Leck Eier is like a chant that they do now at their protests. And I did ask some of my students today because I knew that we wanted to talk about it. And they were like, yeah.
Well, I don't think this case is going to go anywhere because now everyone's saying Merz Leck Eier. I mean,
Anyway,
they
yes.
can't prosecute
So
the whole
students are definitely chanting this,
Okay.
and they were able to confirm the idea that this had been held up at a placard at a demo, and then the police took it really thick, arrested the person, which is obviously ridiculous. And like all of these things, it's just now everywhere. You sent me a song, which is
It's brilliant. The
great.
song- yeah, Vita, the rapper Vita made a song out of it, which I urge everyone to. I'll post a link to it. It's a great song.
And they were sort of saying that within Deutsch rap, and I always, when I think about Deutsch rap, I wish that we could have Maisie on to talk about it. Yeah, and now it's become this like total meme songs that are like shitting on Merz as kind of like a genre within Deutsch rap. I think this is our good news section. I think
it's great. Yeah, I mean, what is great about it is that the music is, the song is like all about, like, it's not just about the Wehrpflicht issue and the military service policy, but it's the whole thing about all of Friedrich Merz's policies, like raising the pension age and making life unaffordable for people on low incomes.
Yes.
And I think that is really important. I got quite emotional watching that song. I thought it was really beautiful.
Yeah, and it is this kind of like definitely like a class sort of thing. One of the other, it's not from this song, but it's from a different. One of the lyrics was "Black Hawk down, you Black Rock clown," which I thought was really good. And just this idea of like, you have no idea. He's so out of touch, and he's such a. You're just, when you live in this mega rich bubble, like you can't, like, how dare he say we need to work more? How dare he? I don't think that working class voices are ever really heard enough. And also this Merz Leck Eier, if it moves from maybe all teenagers thinking about, the Wehrpflicht affects all of us because it's just like an age thing. But maybe these songs also maybe draw people's attention to like, oh, wow, I don't actually know what it's like to live as a single mother who's trying to, to more issues that maybe don't have.
Well, Vita, who sang this song, was also a single mother.
Yeah, that's what I'm... I read the article that you that you sent to me. I did actually. I did do that.
Okay.
Have we even explained to non-German speakers what Merz Leck Eier means?
Well, it just means Merz lick balls.
Yes.
It's important to make that. But apparently, this article that I sent you also suggested that it's got something to do with the when you get called up to be medical
testicle test,
and you have to get your testicles gripped by a military officer and
a doctor, not just an officer.
Well, a doctor associated with the military, and they make you cough.
Yeah, I don't
really get that
because it's like, I think it's more just go fuck yourself, which is such a funny thing to write. Like, just go suck a bag of dicks.
So the kids are all right is what we're summing up here.
Basically, yeah.
Excellent. I think that is all the news.
Oh, did we get through it? Thank God. I've still got a little bit of Megacan. Good.
Well, we did have one other news story, but let's just leave it there.
Let's just leave it. I'm too drunk to explain it.
Okay.
And I actually said that I was going to explain it, but sorry to my friend Oliver if you're listening. I didn't get to it, but I will. We will bring it up. Because it is kind of a fascinating soup of horror.
Yeah.
Well, Konrad, it's nice to be back. Do you have
is.
some good news? You sound like you're going to have good news.
No, but you know what I've got? I've got an email. I just remembered it just now.
Oh, that's nice.
From my friend Katie. Shout out to Katie,
Hi,
who's
Katie.
a listener. And she wanted to correct something from our last show.
Yep.
You remember I mentioned this thing this day where young people cut people's ties? You remember this? The tie cutting tradition.
No, but I drink a lot.
Last time we met, it was on Herrentag, Men's Day.
Oh, and you were talking about cutting ties.
And
yeah.
I thought that was the day that you're supposed to cut men's ties. It's like
I thought that was mad. I'd never heard of that. So let's hear what Katie has to say.
Well, apparently that is to do with Carnival, but it's Weiberfastnacht.
Oh.
And this is something that happens in the Catholic bit of Germany. in Carnival.
And it's cutting ties.
And it's just, she just wanted to explain this. And she always said, I told a really good story about how she did this when she was 8. And everyone had to go along with it, but the man involved clearly didn't want to have his tie cut. But they had to go along with it because it was the day. And she was a very insistent 8-year-old. And it was really funny.
That's adorable. Yeah. I love this. Thank you very much, Katie.
Yeah.
What a fantastic image.
Yes. Good. That's
all right.
Have a great week,
I'm mildly
everyone.
drunk and mildly depressed, which means we're done.
Which means that was the end of another Megan's Megacon.
Well done, everyone, if you've made it this long.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
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 Megan, German news in English with a cocktail can. The German news, it's quite a test. With Megan's Mega, you're feeling refreshed. Megan's Mega can. German news in English with a cocktail can. Deutsche Nachrichten sind düster und schwer.
Defy the fear.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a positive message to give to people.
So.
I like to think that we have quite a positive impact on our listeners.
I hope so.
Because we try and get them to defy the fear of listening to the news all day.
I mean, it's better than reading a German newspaper. Surely.
I would definitely recommend listening to our podcast more than reading any German newspaper.
German newspapers barely have pictures. Like fucking, it's just a brick of text.
Oh yes, and they seem to make a virtue of it. They think it's like so great to have no text.
Not like you Americans
no
with your fucking
colour pictures,
decadent pictures in your newspapers.
Yeah,
What's that? A crossword puzzle? Oh, no wonder you had Trump. Jesus Christ, everyone! Like, there's a middle ground.
You have to concentrate on the news. It's very important, and you have to like keep it there.
Just have a mega.
Have a mega. Give us a picture every now and then.
Just a wee picture, maybe of,
yeah,
a diagram.